Alright, I'll be honest guys, on the play, this hand, I'm pretty sure we won the game. I have no idea what they play, what is their strategy, who is this player. All I know is that I probably won the game by now, and we'll see if that's correct. You know what? We can do it like this. We can actually do it like this. Alright, this is the winning play, I think. It's super weird play, but it's the winning one. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we are getting sweaty because this is the deck that you choose if you want to rank up, and we'll prove it today with stats, and I will show you how much you can rank up with this deck. And honestly, with the addition of new set, this deck will only get better, so it might be one of the safest crafts right now, because it's not only extremely powerful, and I'll be honest, it's also interesting to play. Like, this is a fun deck to play, and you don't want to be on the receiving end, you want to be on the giving end, because then it's fun. So I think it will be interesting. And guys, before we start the video, you know what has to happen. There's one missing thing. The absolute legend for today is none other than Seth, our good veteran and friend of the channel, and I think you will like it, because if you ever search for like the best win rate in decks in standard, you cannot go better than this. It's also very interesting, so if you ever want to get sweaty about rank, this is how you do it, and it's surprisingly fun deck. So this one is for you, my friend. I hope you will enjoy it, and with that being said, let's go to the games. If we get bottlenecked on the mana, I guess it's fine. We'll try to make it work. We can always Pixie on the next turn, and we get some extra value by casting enchantments. So basically this deck works on, you know, just having this small extra value. Like small extra +1/+1. By the way, this is insanely good draw. Probably the best draw. Right, I need to think. We have this game. We will win this if we play it right. All we need to do right now is hit the next land, so we don't stall our progress. Okay. Alright. I think I take this damage. I think I take this damage just for the sake of, you know, they won't pump. They won't do anything. They will just hit the face. But we'll cast it at the end step. Alright. Let's see. That's fine, that's fine. Fair, fair. So they kinda gave up the protection game plan. And that means we can start bouncing this. Unfortunately, we were not good enough to get a land, which is, I mean, big deal. And this is probably the wrong tap. We need to be aware with the mana. This is the card. We have some life to, you know, to play with basically. And let's start nightmaring them, so they don't have as much power. Land. Not very impactful. We cannot block because they can just pump and get a free trade. Helix. Helix is fine. As long as they go... we don't care about the life gain, we are not racing, we are trying to stabilize against them. Alright. Perfect, finally the third land. Alright, that might be their end, honestly. They don't have any protection spells here. I think all we need to do is Pixie. Oh, no. We just go with this. We kill the creature. Without creatures, they do nothing. And now we can go with Pixie. And I know I could go for the Nightmare, but we can do it with those two cards. And I want to have mana efficient nowhere to run for the next play. 3 damage. Alright, so they will try to burn us right now. They will try to burn us. So now we need to be a bit aggressive and probably not use too many pain lands. Unless we really have to. I don't crazy want to go for Hopeless Nightmare, because they can just play it at instant speed probably. I want to progress my board as much as possible. We go for the Pixie. If they use removal on this, that means they are not burning face. If they are not using it on Pixie, that means we get extra damage. See, they are trying to race us, and basically they decided that they will rely on this game on pure luck, basically. Right, I think this is the play, because we want to bounce something. And they don't have instant, which means that we can pump the big creature. And this also increases the damage for the next turns. Yeah, and I think we won. We have so much damage right now in the board. I think they die on the next turn, right? So even if they draw perfectly, like Boros Charm, it's 4 damage, not 5. So I don't think they can do anything here. And that's how we win. Our opponent is going first. We have okay hand. It's not amazing, but it's also not bad. Beastie. Alright. So I think we go with the Scavenger, right? Ores of Mana cannot go wrong here. And we need to play double fast lands. Yeah, we definitely go with black mana. Fear of Isolation. Not on this turn yet. Not on this turn. So I think we just go with Hexmage so we can block the Curator. I think this is the play. They cannot pump it, so let's put the counter here. We can also start pressuring them a little bit. You still want to pressure them, right? Is that the missing type? Of course it's the missing type. Why wouldn't you just get free Delirium on turn 2? Or turn 3 to be fair. Oh boy, this won't be easy. We have Fear of Isolation, but we want the Nightmare first. Do they have a pump in some way? I mean, I will go for it. Let's see. Alright, trade is good for us. We actually want to trade cards. We have a little bit more value than them. Fear of missing out. Alright. Would love to hit a removal for this. So we need to be a bit defensive probably. Let's go with the coast, so this doesn't get tapped on the next turn. Is that Nightmare into Fear? No. No. It's Nightmare. I mean, maybe into Fear. Maybe into Fear. Let's put the counter where it belongs. It's also enchantment, so we can pump it to 4/4, which is really nice. And then we go Pixie into Nightmare potentially on the next turn. Yeah, let's go for it. I think it's a solid card. A 3/4 should be nice. Let's go. Let's go. Right now we have perfect blocks. Let's see if this sticks for our opponent's turn. We really don't want Fear of Missing Out to be able to attack. Because they get double combat phase, and of course that's really strong for them. Very interesting choice, because right now we have perfect blocks, so they have to have a combat trick. Otherwise it would make no sense at all. This is the block that everyone would expect. I still think we have to go with it. Let's try. What is the combat trick? They have to have a combat trick here. Otherwise, this would make no sense to attack. Alright, double strike. That's acceptable. That is acceptable. Especially with this draw. Yeah, with this draw I think we won. Like that's why I went with this combat trick gets a free trade, because they have so little mana that, I mean, even if they do it, they don't make any progress into the board. I really need to kill this. And I think with this we win, because they have no pressure right now. Now we go Pixie. We make sure that we can do it again for the next creature. I could also bounce Fear of Isolation, but I really want to pressure some damage, especially that we have 5 damage in board already and Hopeless Nightmare. So we can literally kill them in like 2 turns. That hurts, but it's fine. Nope. We don't take... This is 1 mana something. Double strike, it's 8 damage, it doesn't kill us yet. That's fine. Okay, sorry, 10 damage, because it also pumps. I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. So, we're so bottlenecked on the black mana, it's kinda painful. So we can kill this. 7 damage, so all we need to do is attack with Pixie. Then it's 5, 7 exactly. So we attack with this. And I'll be honest, I will just remove it right now. Just to make sure that they don't have some weird pump. And now they need to play a creature, pump it. And also it has to be bigger than Fear of Isolation. Alright, we won. That's how we do it. Man, this was way closer than it ever should. So they're taking the card, they can play a land. It's a tap land? No, it's Verge. And I mean, we swing, face, because that, as we know, is the place. And we go for Hopeless Nightmare for perfect, calculated lethal. And easy win for us. Okay, not so easy. Alright, I'll be honest guys, on the play, this hand, I'm pretty sure we won the game. I have no idea what they play, what is their strategy, who is this player. All I know is that I probably won the game by now. And we'll see if that's correct. We will see. So we will definitely open with Scavenger, especially that we can go Scavenger into Talent on the next turn or Shelter by Ghost, but of course we need to know the matchup. I still will go with this play. Yeah, this is so much better, man. Because now we can use... No way, they have a cut down already. I tell you, every time I see black mana with some creature deck, it's always a cut down. Interesting, they decided to put the counters. I mean, it kinda goes the same, right? Because if we double put a counter, they remove this big creature. If we put them evenly, it's the same as leaving one Scavenger and getting one pump, right? So that was pretty smart. Into the Flute Maw. Oh, this is actually weaker for them. The bounce is not as powerful. Alright, so they have more prepared. Let's go with this one. Scavenger. So we basically need to keep pumping. Oh, they have nothing? No way. No. Oh man, this game is so over. So we know they have nothing. So I will pump this and pump this. All the creatures that can attack on this turn, because we really want to close the game as soon as possible. You really want to get them to like 8 or 6, so Hopeless Nightmare can finish the job. That's fine, that's fine. Don't you worry. New cards that we have ignore basically every synergy. We could go for Shelter by Ghost. It's not a bad play. But I don't want them to get a 7/5 worm, you know? It might just be me, but it feels like not the best man. I told you, we won the game already. We target this guy and this guy. And let's not make the misplay of targeting our own stuff. We also go for the Hexmage, because it pumps the board even more, and I think that could be lethal. I told you, we won the game and I didn't even know what we are playing against. We're going first, which, man, this is a solid opening. It's not perfect, but it's very strong. Let's go with the Talent first. You want to open with Talent because of course you want to keep bouncing something, and this is the only bounce synergy we have right now. Our opponent is going for some elves, some juicy elves. Yep, this is the tap. Man, the taps with this decks are so clutch, like you need to do it right. So we bounce it, we pump it. We need to scale super hard because our opponent will break out of this very quickly. We have like 1 or 2 turns of pressure and then we are like doing nothing, basically. Oh, Gruul. Okay. Is that like a dinosaur deck? Interesting. Interesting. Absolutely a Hopeless Nightmare opening. I think we will just literally double Nightmare. This is a little bit scary. I need to pump those otters so they don't have like any kind of weird place. They're obviously waiting with something. And I have no idea what. And don't forget that it also all triggers the prowess on otters. We bounce this guy. We play this guy. No, just pure value in every... Man, this is ridiculous. Like, look at this. We already deal 8-10 damage. Out of nowhere. This is crazy. Okay. Is that really a creature deck? Show me. They have something, right? No. They just... Will they just lose? No. They have a play. What is the play? Druid? Smuggler Surprise. Oh, bad things will happen to our face soon. But I think they will die before they will do it. By the way, this creature still exists in Standard. Nobody knows about it. It's an amazing creature and it deals damage to battles. You know, the battles, the archetype that is super cool that nobody can use because of Mono Red. I mean, it is here. It is here. We played with this card. It was so fun. It's actually a very fun red card. And it indeed is a dinosaur deck, but a bit of a weird one. With Smuggler Surprise, they probably play like Italian stuff. So okay, the game is still not over because we need to actually try to pump through this. What can we do? I think we just play double Hexmage. We don't have any spells right now. So, let's go here. Our opponent will get one good turn, but I think after this they are dead. So let's prepare. We can put some Cursed Trolls. Do I want Scry? I'll be honest, good Scry can do miracles, but with Nightmare and so many creatures, I'm pretty sure we can close the game. And we split it because sometimes maybe you need it. I'm not sure. You know, it's better to have extra permanent that doesn't cost you anything. One extra creature. Okay. So we can deal what? They block those two, so it's 4 damage. We win. Easy. It's pure skill. Even that's why it was so important to go absolutely crazy on the offensive. In next turn, I think they could recover if they have a sweeper or a huge creature, but we kill them perfectly. Alright, this is a very sketchy draw, but we have so many enchantments that we should draw something. But of course, we would love to have something right now. Let's go with the Scavenger. It pumps with all the enchantments the best. Of course, you want to save Pixie for later. We need to draw Nowhere to Run and we win this game. If we don't draw any kind of enchantments, of course we will lose this game. So let's see what Almighty Shuffler will decide. The Challenger. Unfortunately, very good for them. Do I trade? I'll be honest, I think I have to trade here. Normally you don't trade because this is better card. In this situation I actually will, because I have no synergies in the deck right now. Alright, Hopeless Nightmare. This is the first amazing draw right now. So we could go for the Scavenger or Pixie. This is better. No, 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 don't you do me dirty like this. We're going with Scavenger, because when we play this, it actually gets the value permanently, and we can always Pixie on the next turn, so this value is always there. And our opponent will be at 3 cards, so I think we'll butcher their hand completely soon. Our opponent is on the play, so that's always a question. Will you have time to play your 1-drops, or are they too slow for standard? I'm waiting for 0 mana cards, because those will be the only one that can compete. However, let's see if they draw cards with the Challenger. This is kinda okay. As long as we keep the board alive, and we could just bounce it. It's very tempting. But I still think we go for the Pixie. No instant, that's super important. That's super important. Let's go for this. We want to get this crazy value. So this is risky. Right now they can... Oh my god, they discarded 3 in 1. So that tells you a lot. But this is a weird play, really. I'll be honest, I will risk it. They didn't have interaction last turn, so I assume that they don't have it right now as well. And let's take the last card. No, no, no. Okay, this will be a weird one. Let's play like this. Because when we bounce this, they will have 2 cards. So I think even if they target, I have to roll with it for a single turn. Innkeeper's Talent. Huh. Huh. It doesn't target. Let's put a stop. You really need to do it now, because at the beginning of combat phase they put a counter here. Yep, they want to go to combat. I think this is the moment. They cannot replay the Challenger. And if you play it right, I think we can double this card. Right? I think we have enough mana. We definitely start with this, but we will have to bounce something, that's the problem. But at least we will get either the Mastery card or something they absolutely care about. Well, the Mastery card was not very good. So that was an easy choice for them. The problem is that if I bounce this, they have 2 cards, so they will just discard whatever they care less about. How can we do it, man? How can we do it? So we cannot allow this synergy between talent and the hero. This is their second here, they shouldn't draw more. I would love to bounce it. You know what? We can do it like this. We can actually do it like this. Alright, alright. This is the winning play, I think. This is actually the winning play. It's super weird play, but it's the winning one. Now I can bounce. I mean, let's bounce this, right? It gives us better creature, so why not? Why not? So this is not the maximum value from the card, but in this situation it's the best value. Now they only have the talent and they don't have creatures. And we have the creature. And I think we might even sacrifice this to get better draw, but we'll see. Are you serious? I literally counted the challengers so they don't get... Alright, this won them the game. Are you serious? And this is how you cannot play around Shuffler. Well, they drew 2 of them. They have 2 in 48 cards. So that means drawing 1 is 1 in 24, which means around 4 or 5%. And listen, they will just get it. They will just get it and that's it. Oh my god, I'm so salty right now. I will lose to this. So we will sacrifice the Nightmare at the end step. To try to hit 1 good card maybe and maybe somehow make a miracle happen, but I don't think it's happening. Yep, 3 cards. 3 cards. Oh, what a nice draw. I think I will be at 1 or something, man. This is crazy. I cannot kill. Like, those are the top decks that will win them the game. We did everything right. We played around exactly stuff as we should. And we got punished by a 4% draw. And then you lose. Well, I guess the better player won. Alright, we have all the colors for mana and we have all the nightmares we ever dreamed of. So now we need to decide how we want to play this. I mean, I kinda decided already by playing this land. To be fair, I think Scavenger was better. But I'll take it, because we could Scavenger into double Nightmare on the next turn. I think that was a superior play, but I played the land first and then I thought, but it's fine, it should be kind of the same in the end. Let's go for 1 Scavenger. If they go for a Claw Pump, I don't think it matters too much. And let's start going with those Hexmages, because they not only are 1 mana 3/2, which is super nice, but they also pump the Scavenger. We pump, of course, this guy. Yeah, then we can attack with both of them. It's interesting, because we could even block the Claw with Hexmage. Yeah, now they don't even have the chance to attack. That's interesting, I absolutely love it. A very powerful card, but not for this turn. Not for this turn. I think we just go with this. Hopeless Nightmare. We can keep pressuring their hand. And how do we attack? I still think we'll try to raise them. They won't double block, so we can pump Scavenger easy. They can double block the Hexmage to kill it, but it's not a good play. And now we can also use this Hexmage to not only pump creatures. We target this one, so the base stats do not get altered, basically. I think we go like this. That's 7 damage, which means that we kill them on the next turn if they don't have blockers. Which is super sweet. And as you can see, they cannot compete with this. So we both open with Scavenger, because we want to, power through the next turns. Nowhere to Run will be tricky to use. It's pretty slow. On the draw, our opponent has perfect Nowhere to Run. So far we have exactly the mirror. They just have Ores of Mana and we have Azorius Mana, but we even have the Shores the same with Scavengers. And now this is their choice. With 2 mana they have basically whole deck at their disposal. And I'll be honest, this is probably the worst play of all of them. Like, I honestly think so. So I think with this play we should win the game. Because our opponent kinda messed up. So we go for roll on this one. We could also put it here, but it's fine. And now we double counter, so we can attack into Fear of Isolation. And our opponent, instead of using Fear of Isolation to get extra card and basically the value of this deck, they use it to slow themselves down. So that's literally the opposite. This is like the vanilla design for the card, right? You get a 2 mana 2/3 with flying, and it has a drawback. And this deck turned drawback into upside, so they used it in the opposite way. And they have 4 other cards, so it means they had other plays. So very interesting one. However, maybe they have something in mind to recover this tempo. We have nowhere to run and we can pix it, but we need to draw a land. What our opponent has ahead of us is getting, basically extra land. That's huge. That's actually insanely huge. So what can we do? I think we have to attack like this with Hexmage and Scavenger. I really hope for one interaction. If they have 2 different ones, we might be in some trouble, but generally they should have 2 mana interaction. Right now they don't have good blocks, so they need to cast a spell. And then we will cast the spell, which is great. Sure, I'll trade. You cannot cast spells here. If you do, you will lose the game. You need to trade and force them to kind of do the same. And I mean, they're not making any progress right now. They basically hold their whole mana for the turn, and if they don't use it, they basically wasted the turn. So even though we don't make too much progress, they make 0 progress. However, they are still stacking clans, which is like it's putting them ahead in a way, but they're behind on board. Sure. I think they have this town ain't big together, big enough. I will never learn the name. And I cannot really cast anything into this, right? This is tricky. I really want to play nowhere to run so I can bounce it. I think they will pass the turn. So this is the first moment when we can be victim to some bouncing effects. But we are still getting very good value. So I will target the Scavenger. We'll pump this Scavenger, so they are both equal. So our opponent doesn't have good target to bounce. One of the Scavengers has Cursed Roar, so I mean it's a little bit better, I guess. But we don't really want to bounce it, so it shouldn't make a difference. Alright, so, and by the way, if they go for this play, that means they are fully tapped and now we have full reign over the game. And we actually hit what we wanted. That's huge. That is huge. So now we can proceed to winning the game. And you know what? I will go with Scavenger. Because it's so juicy right now. Let's go. Let's go. Like, I tell you, man. We are super ahead here. And they keep bouncing their lands, so it actually slows them down a little bit as well. So the idea is that we have basically like 2 extra removal cards with double Pixie, because we play this, we bounce nowhere to run. And I think they lost the game. I don't think they can recover from this, even with those extra lands. Hitting the 3rd land was insanely important on this turn. That gives us so much pressure for the future turns. They're not using any kind of bounce synergy. Yep, they're just playing 1/1s. And we are abusing this synergy like there's no tomorrow. So they still have some mana open. We could go for Kaito. It's not very good here. This will be weird play, but I think this is the right one. So we will go with Hexmage. We'll cursor this one. Don't forget the pump is in form of +1/+1 counters, so the base stats is still the same. You can curse it easily. Well, I hope you enjoyed this sweaty day on the arena. We don't usually do meta decks because they're super boring. However, it was all about this rank, to see what reality it is when we rank up with this deck, and I will show you the stats in a moment, and I think they will be pretty impressive. I don't want to overdo the outro because, like, listen, everyone knows the deck. It's all about those stats and results, and we want to showcase this one because it gets better. Some of the archetypes will probably get weaker. This one is completely different. I fear what it will become with the next set. However, before we go into those, juicy details, a huge thank you for our patrons for supporting the content and allowing us to play both creative decks and, the boring meta decks. You can tell me in the comments if you enjoyed this one. If you want to get really serious about the rank, it's a different take for the video, but I think it can be also enjoyable. So, guys, what about the stats? We went 12 wins and 6 losses, which you can say, well, it's not even 100% win rate. Like, bro, this deck sucks. Well, in reality, tier 1 best decks of the format usually have like 60 to 63% win rate on average in big samples. Of course, this is a small sample, it's not like 100 games even, but you can clearly see that this deck is performing, and I think even though mono red on average has a little bit higher win rate, like in thousands of games, I think if you are a good veteran, like if you have good knowledge about game, I think this type of deck favors you a little bit more, because you have something called decisions in this deck, which mono red can only dream about. Right? That means if you know how to play the game, this deck will take advantage of this. If you play mono red, it's still purely RNG. If you are on the draw with bad hand, it doesn't matter what you do, you lost. If you are on the play with good hand, it doesn't matter what you do because you won. With this deck, it matters what you do, especially if you know what your opponent has in the hand, what they are trying to play. You have basically interaction against everything in the whole standard. So it's just about using it right. Something that can get you sometimes is 3-color mana base. We also don't have basics here, so that's sometimes a bit painful. You will have games where you have black cards and blue mana, or Azorius mana most of the time. But those are pretty rare, and as you can see, it doesn't affect win rate too much. You can still win because everything is so cheap, and you have so many interactions that, I mean, you can solve everything if you do it right. And of course you need to draw some cards. Probably the weakest of all of the cards is Hexmage in my opinion. The rest of the cards are simply all busted. This is just very, very strong. It's just 1 mana, 3/2 with an upside. So it's the weakest card of the deck. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. The deck performs, it will get you to Mythic. All you need to do is repeat exactly what we did for like 10, 12, 15 more hours, and you are guaranteed like top Mythic spot, probably in like top 300. So I hope you enjoyed this a little bit more serious video. Tell me in the comments if you liked it. It matters a lot to me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. So see you guys tomorrow.